Yes, and our woman of the hour is Boomy. She's an amazing woman. She's got a heart of gold, and she has such a remarkable story. And she's so skilled. She's a pharmacist as well. And like I said, she does an amazing meeting on Mondays if you'd like to join. And Boomy, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? And please just jump right into your story and how LifeWave changed your life. We'd love to hear.
Thank you, Lisa. Really appreciate the invitation and allowing me to talk about my story because this is something I never thought that I will get to be talking about, and I'm so blessed that I'm able to do this today. I've been a pharmacist for about 33 years, and we were not taught about holistic practice when I went to college. And during that 33 years, so we used to see a lot of our patients with so many different ailments and diseases. And some of the things that they talk about was, wow, how can I get off this medicine? And we were so limited in what we could tell them, we just refer them back to their practitioners. Even though we know about all the different side effects, that are with medications. But my journey started when I got to work, stepped in a pool of water, slipped and banged my head on a metal shelf. The previous day, I went hiking. I had no problem. Then went to work. And then this happened to me. And I thought, okay, I'll be okay. It was just a headache. I'll be okay in another few days. The next thing I knew, my situation was getting worse. The head pressure was so terrible, it was like my head was about to explode. I started feeling dizzy. Then the next thing, I couldn't walk. I was wobbly, and my eyes started flipping like switch bulbs. So my husband took me to hospital so many times. They did series of tests. They didn't find anything. And they told me, well, it's just a matter of time. It will go away. But instead of going away, I was getting worse. And in my own house, I will turn off the shades, put the lights off, and I'll still be wearing goggles because I could not see. I could not walk. And I went to series of tests, went to some doctors, including neurologists, and they all told me, well, you can have this medication or they will give me injection. And I knew, what that will end up being like. And I didn't want to go that route. And luckily for me, I've been in a situation where, part of what I do, I'm a consumer peer reviewer for medical research program. So we are able to see if there are some studies coming up, that are haven't started being worked on. So we look at those studies, and I look at it from the consumer aspect and pharmacy aspect, and see if it is something that we should actually award funding for. So I'm able to see all those research and things like that. So when this happened to me and they wanted to give me all this injection, and I said, no, I didn't want that. So they sent me for a series of physical therapies. I did the first set, nothing happened. I didn't have any recovery at all. I ended up using a cane to walk. I ended up using a bath seat in the bathroom. I couldn't tie my shoes without kneeling against the wall. I couldn't move my head left or right without falling over. I couldn't drive. I mean, I was miserable. And this is someone who was thinking, okay, I'm going to be retiring in another maybe 5 to 10 years. And now here is my life. And I started now seeing myself in my patients. And I was like, oh my God, because if you never experience something and you're just seeing, if you're close to that person, you can never really know how it feels until you're in that situation. And I will sit there, I'll just be crying because I was just seeing my life just going down the tubes. And then I was sent to another facility for rehab. And I had a wonderful team of healthcare professionals, about 6 or 8 of them. They were wonderful. They helped me, but my recovery now stopped. And then I was told, well, there wasn't really anything else they could do, but I should just have to manage the rest. Now, managing the rest, I still wasn't able to tie my shoes without kneeling against the wall. Or sometimes my husband would stand next to me so I don't fall over. And I remember that day, when they told me that, I just busted out crying. And I just saw my life just gone right there.
Bumi, can I
And
ask you how long in from the time that you hurt yourself to that time, what was the time frame?
so when I hurt myself, the first problem I had was serious headaches, head pressure. And when I went to the emergency room, they just sent me home with ibuprofen. They didn't even do any x-ray or anything. And they heard what happened. So the next day, it was like the head just like my head was just expanding. That pressure was just unbearable. My husband took me back to the hospital. About 4 times I had to be taken to the hospital until the one of the doctors who used to help the those who were in the military was so upset that they didn't do all these tests. And he was like, no, they had to do all series of tests. Even after that, they didn't see anything. Then a week after, or a week or two, I noticed that my eyes started flickering. It was like when you're switching, you know, pulling the switch and the bulb is like this. And then the next thing is I could not open my eyes because the light was just too powerful. We turn off all the lights and still. And then the next thing, I noticed that I could not walk. I was like wobbly, couldn't walk. Then I started getting so dizzy. And then the balance got so worse that I had to be sitting down all the time and holding the chair. Because if I didn't, I would just like boom, just collapse like that. And then I'm not going to knock healthcare system, but it has really gone down the tubes from I was in when I started practicing, because it took some time even before they could do certain things, because you have to wait for insurance to approve certain things. And I was told that if the insurance had actually approved that early enough, it wouldn't have gotten that worse, because I started really getting worse. And so luckily, I was sent to that rehab center and they helped me. But, they could only do what they could do because they didn't know about, natural health. And then it was a trusted friend of my husband, a business partner of my husband, used to be a mentor for Queen Elizabeth, and was telling my husband about, this technology. And then my husband said, okay, Bumi, would you like to take a look at this? And I know I've heard about stem cells, and I knew it was injection. And I said, no, I don't want anything that is injectable. I don't want anything I have to put in my mouth, because I know from experience, from my profession, if something doesn't work and you ingest, it takes time for you to recover. I don't want to now start finding something that is foreign, putting in me, then it doesn't work, then I'm in trouble again. So I said no. And then He sent me email a few times. It took a month before I decided, okay, I'll take a look at it. And what actually did it for me was he mentioned, no, this is something that your body is going to use to heal itself. It's not something you ingest or inject. And I was like, how is that possible? I need to see the science and the research. So then that was sent to me. I read the science. The science made sense because I know about vitamin D. But still, I was like, I have never heard of something that is not medicinal, that would do such thing. So I read through the research and I went back reading through the research. Then I called my husband and told him to check the patents. My husband is an engineer. I said, check the patents. And he went through everything. And I was like, okay, the worst thing in this is it doesn't work. I know it's not going to hurt me. So I was willing to give it a try. So when I placed the order and now talked to my doctor and another doctor that I was seeing about this product, and he was trying to discourage me from using it. He said, Bumi, you're a pharmacist. You should know about placebo effect. I said, yes, I do. I said, but they've done studies on horses and it worked perfectly well. And animals don't have placebo effect. Then he was like, okay, yeah, you just shun, I was like, no, I'm going to follow my, what I know here. So I gave it a try. A week and a half after using the patches, I started walking. And then I was like, I thought maybe my mind was playing tricks on me. I called my husband to come and see. He saw me walking. I just started laughing and smiling because, I never thought I could see that. So gradually I started improving. The dizziness started going away. Then my eyes were still there. And my doctor now sent me to a neuro-optometrist. But before I saw that doctor, I asked Tara, is there anything I can use for my eyes? Then she told me what to do. So normally before, if when I get off from my bed and go to the bathroom, I had to kind of close my eyes. I'm like this to get to the bathroom because I couldn't see, the lights will bother me. So when I placed those patches on, what I noticed was I squint, I went to the bathroom and I opened my eyes a little bit and I could see. Then I looked up, looked through into the light. I didn't have any problem. I called my husband again to come and see. And then a few hours after, I was quitting again, but I knew there was hope. So I went to the doctor and I got there and the doctor told me I was supposed to go there to get glasses. And then the doctor told me, there's another, have you heard of phototherapy lamp? I said, yes. She said, I tried that on my patients. Would you like to try that? I said, of course. And then what she told me was, before I could see any improvement, it would take at least 6 weeks. I said, no problem. But I knew I had the patches. So we started on Monday. By Friday, when we started during the day, I get home at night, I put the patches on. But my X39 and 49, I was having them on all day. So by Friday, we were able to turn on all the lights in her office. And she was shocked. That was when she said, oh boy, I've never seen this before. I said, well, that was when I showed her the patches. I said, this is what, I was using when I got home. And she said, what kind of patches? I told her. So she kind of, brushes aside. So then before I knew it, I was discharged. I didn't have to, use those glasses. Then she asked me one day, would you, I would like to see about these patches, and I sent her the literature. She said she wanted to read about it. I didn't hear anything about from her. But gradually, my eyes were improving. I used to wear glasses since 1982. Right now, I do not wear glasses to drive. I do not wear glasses to walk, to do anything. I do not wear glasses on the computer. I mean, I am amazed. I mean, I got my life back beyond my expectation. And I can't even imagine, because sometimes I sit down, I'm like thinking, where would it have been? And now I'm seeing a lot of people, that I'm sharing this with, and they're improving, their lives are improving. It's just amazing. And this doctor is using these patches now. A lot of healthcare professionals are paying more attention. Rachel, we have another doctor. There are some doctors using the patches. Nurses, pharmacists, veterinarians, chiropractors. I mean, it's just amazing because healthcare professionals are human. They are human too, but you can only teach what you know. But if you're not open-minded, then you can't know. But I'm someone who, you know, I like to know about things. But
And
even it took
you
a
have
month.
both. Yeah, and you have both edges because you were brought into natural things when you were younger, and now you have the skill of saying, I can dissect and look at clinical studies and know exactly what is happening and what those numbers mean, where a lot of people wouldn't. And you're right, you're on here tonight, and we have Monique, who is, used to be a pharmacist. We have Rachel, who's a pharmacist, and then we have Todd, who's a massage therapist, and people that are in the community care aspect and nurses. And, it's really quite something. So I just love that there's so much validity. Yeah.
Yes, this is something that is revolutionary. It's something that is when I started using it, I kept saying, boy, I hope the pharmaceutical industry will not kill this company. I hope they will not kill this company because they are very powerful. They are very powerful, but I don't see life wave going anywhere.
Well, and we stay very
Anyway,
compliant. We stay
anyway,
very within our wheelhouse so that we make sure we're all safe and we
yes,
don't use our disease names, and we make sure that we're, not making any claims. We're just saying this is how it works for us. And so we're in a safe space. And so that took so that's fast forward a month. And I'd like to have people be able to ask a couple of questions. And I want to ask you a question about how did your life change and what is it that you're doing? Because you are next to Superwoman now, and I'd love for you to share a little bit about that.
well, you mean with the with the weightlifting?
Oh, yes, everything you do. How is your life completely transformed? Please share.
Well, one, I'm not practicing in the retail industry anymore in a traditional way. I enjoy what I'm doing. I know that people that are here, they have to be passionate to be here because this is not a product where you can just flip, on someone and just let them go. You have to be passionate to be doing this. So I know that everybody that is here is passionate about helping people, which I love. And I've been able to travel. I can take my work anywhere. I've been able to do things that I thought I would not be able to do anymore. And then, you know, I used to go to the gym. I used to hike. I mean, we started hiking again, aerobics and things like that, but I never lifted weight. So I decided I was going to start seeing a fitness trainer, and I ended up choosing a human performance coach, amazing individual. So when I started, I realized, started lifting weight from 35 pounds, and gradually I'm lifting all this heavy weight. Now I'm lifting 290 pounds, which I never in my life could do. I mean, I see myself on leg press, 488 pounds. I'm like, no, maybe I'm the new King Kong now or something. I mean, it's just amazing what is happening that I have never in my life thought I could do. And then the other thing that was amazing, you talked about, check the take a picture before and after. I didn't get to do that, but I still have some pictures before. But I wish I had some pictures when I was in trouble, to compare. But then I was in no mood to see anyone. All I did was journaling, writing down everything that happened. But in November, I decided to do a bone density scan. And when I got the result, I wasn't surprised, because when I started going to the gym and my coach started seeing my improvement, he was like, Bumi, you are very, very strong. But so when I saw the result, it was amazing. My osteoporotic probability fracture was 2.8%, and my hip fracture probability was 0.1%, which is remarkable. I mean, better than people in my age. I'm 60. I'm going to be 61 in March. And people are like, telling me I look very young for my age, and I mean, I'm just happy. I'm beyond happy. I mean, before the accident, I was happy, but this is a different kind of happiness. It's like I have a totally different world, that I never thought. A whole lot has happened. And I have another amazing story, which I'm going to share this year, which I never in my life thought will happen. And that is happening. So I am so blessed, and I can't even complain about anything. I can't even say, feel sad. There's no reason for me to feel sad, because I've been given another chance in life.
You,
I just, I just can't, I can't, I don't even know what to say sometimes. It's like every week I have to check myself, and I'm like, it's like I'm giving another life from youth. Like, go and enjoy life. And so now I'm enjoying life. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I love helping people. And I just can't, I don't even know what else to say other
would
than
you,
I'm.
and you've transformed your physical health. You've transformed your mental health. You've transformed your financial space because you were in that world that was very, we're going to all walk this way and that's the way it's going to go. We're not going to have a lot of the outside of the box thinking in that space. And so you left an industry and you know that industry inside out, upside down, and backwards. And you went over, I'm not going to say to our dark side, to our light side. And how remarkable is that? So, that is an amazing, amazing story. And I want to thank you for sharing. You're so inspirational and you're so real, authentic, and we're so thrilled for you. And
Thank you.
you're probably, well, I know you're of the same opinion of me. This for us is a full-time thing because we're compelled to do it. It's a purpose that's really worth it. It's changing people on the planet and it's actually changing humanity. And I see it as a big movement. And
Yes.
would you agree that this is your joy, not your job?
Oh, no, 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 no. If it's a job, then I will have really got better,
Yeah.
and then, but no, I see. I mean, you can't imagine how many people I have seen on that side. and looking for, I mean, if you get 10 people, I can assure you from age 40 and older, if you get 10 people, 8 of them have some kind of health issues. They might just not say, and what is best in being able to use something that is completely natural. Even
Absolutely.
some of my colleagues still don't believe because they're so in that box. And I can't fault them because maybe if I didn't have that accident, maybe I wouldn't believe either. But
Yes.
that gave me, a way to look at things a different way. And I've always believed that, sometimes our path, will take us to a direction where we're supposed to be. And I think being a pharmacist, it was kind of like a beginning of where God wanted me to go. And I'm
Oh,
seeing that here now.
that's
So
beautiful.
yeah, so I mean, when they asked me, they begged me to come back. They were even offered me incredible bonus to come back. I said no.
You know what? That's the thing. You don't know what you don't know, but when you know it, you can't unknow it. And that's just what's the beauty of this. And you know what? I know that there are some people that want to ask you some questions, and I see some hands raised. So can we take a look at what people want to ask you? Is that
Yes.
okay? Okay.
Yes.
I see Pauline has her hand up. What would you like to ask, Pauline?
Thank you for the wonderful story tonight and your story. But when people ask you, like today, I met some people like, I'm really skeptical about this. What's your response to that? I would love to know that. And thank you so much.
So it depends on who it is. If it's someone who has no healthcare background, I just tell them, I show them, the success stories. I tell them about my story, and then I let them know that, you know, I was on that side, and I know exactly what it's like. And I said, for me to actually come on this side, it means there is something there. And that's really what I tell them because at the beginning I got so excited. I would tell them, everything, and I realized that it was kind of maybe pushing them away, like maybe this is, but then I realized that no, all I have to do is, I just tell them, my story, and I let them know I've been on this side, and I've been there for so many years. I've seen so many different. I mean, if I tell you that a year, a year prior to when I had the accident, I was actually helping a patient that actually tripped on a sidewalk, slammed his head on a cement, and could not remember anything for 2 years. Didn't know what happened. And fast forward a year after, I slammed my head. And I could, every time I remember, I was just thinking about him. But unfortunately, I don't even know where he is now because I'm not in that area. So I don't even know where he is. Because if I do, I will go back and look for him and say, you need to give this a try.
Yeah. And I love that, because it comes from a deep part of authenticity of wanting to help. And that's really what this is about. And I just really love that. And what patches did you wear? I'm sure that people probably want to know what were the ones that you were putting on your body.
So at that time, of course, I got the now advanced pack. I started with X39, 49. I did that for like 2 days to see how I was. Then we added Eon, then glutathione, then carnosine, ice wave, because my eyes were involved. I mean, I had different issues, so I had to use all those different patches for, the ice wave and the carnosine helped a lot with my eyes, a lot with my eyes. And so I think those are the ones that I use,
That's good to
for
know.
and the good thing is, with the patches, what I also tell some people is if you know that your body, we all have all these peptides. When we were young, we were born really perfect. We have everything we need. But then if it's not working as well anymore. So instead of you now taking medication that you are going to just slap the surface and then go back and then they give you more, now you have something that is just a tool that is going to revamp what you were given when you were young.
Waking up those dormant master cells. Yeah,
Yeah, that is amazing,
it is.
amazing, and that's what the patches are doing.
That's what
We already have it.
it's true. And I want to be mindful of our time. We're at 7:01, and I want to thank you so much, Bhumi. Do we have time for one more question? Does anybody have anything they would like to add before we let this lovely lady go? Are we good? Well, I want to thank you so much for your time today. You are inspirational. You make an impact. I'm coming on your next meeting. I'm not missing it. I've been really busy here and there, but I'm hearing all these critiques about how amazing it is. So you're getting a fan club, a fan base.
Me too. I'm there.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bhumi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhumi.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming, and have a great evening. And please plug in with the people that have brought you
Thanks,
here. The
Bhumi.
person.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhumi.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
And get
Bhumi.
back to them.
We are all amazing people. We are helping people.
Yeah.
We are all it's amazing what we are doing. Really amazing. So as much as, people are saying I'm doing remarkably, you don't know how much I admire you. We all have different things we bring to the table, and I admire you a lot. I mean, I don't know, I'm not used to, doing all this. I was used to, focusing on, get this in, yes, talk, yeah, 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 yeah. That's what I was used to. But I've always loved advocacy. And I never, I never stopped doing that. So it was so easy when I found this.
Yeah.
So
I love that. And it's so easy too to share because we have the resources. So you don't have to be a medical professional. You don't have to be the information. You're just the messenger, not the message. And that's what the beauty is. So, that's why we bring people to these events. And, when this water machine comes out that we have coming up around the corner, I can't wait to hear your input on that one as well. So I'd like to
I'm
just say,
waiting. Can't wait.
isn't it so exciting? It's amazing, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, thank you everybody for
Yeah.
your time tonight. Have a great night.
Thank you, Lisa.